All right, everybody, welcome back to another amazing series. And in the last couple series, we built out a digital currency framework to allow anyone in the world to create their own digital currency. So in this series, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on an exchange to allow us to trade our coins with one another. Now, for this project, we're going to be using React and Redux on the front end and Django on the back end. So if you haven't already, make sure to check out my Pro Django series, because the backend for this project is going to be built using all of those foundational concepts. So in this series, what we're going to be doing is taking things even further, learning even more advanced concepts such as dealing with external services. We're going to be looking at some front-end and back-end optimization, stress testing, and so on. Now, before we hop into any code, let's just go ahead and get a really high-level overview of the entire project, how everything is going to be set up. So at a high level, we are going to have our exchange server, and this is going to be the server that's written in Django. And this is going to be connected to many different cores or digital currencies. And what users are going to be able to do is deposit their coins into their exchange account. And then once deposited, they can trade those coins for any other coins. And then, of course, users are going to be able to withdraw their coins at any time. So pretty simple, but there you go. So now let me go ahead and show you what I have for the UI so far. So of course, basic sign in and create account page. Gonna go ahead and sign in, and when you do, you're gonna be taken to this cores page. Now this of course is just a list of all the cores that are currently connected to the exchange, just two quick ones that I set up before this. And also the plan for the future, of course, is for anyone to be able to come in here and add a core without any, extra intervention at all. But for right now, I have it set up where only I can add cores. And that's just to prevent people from coming in and spamming, creating a bunch of fake cores. So if you do have an actual core up and running and you want me to add it, just go ahead and send me over the domain name and the display image and ticker on Discord. My username on there, if I have this pulled up, my username is the New Boston, easy to remember. So just go ahead and send me over that info. And what I'll do is I'll do some quick testing to make sure everything's set up properly. And then I'll manually add it in. And of course, like I said, in the future, we're going to have logic built into the backend to do all this testing automatically to make sure your core is set up properly before we enable it for trading. But for MVP, this process is manual. So there you go. Now, in addition to this page, I also built out this wallets page right here. So users are going to be able to create wallets for any currencies that they want. And whenever they do, each wallet is going to come with a deposit account that you can see right here. And this is where you're going to send coins to. And actually, let me show you how this is going to work. So I'm on the wallet for the newboston.net right now. So let me go ahead and log into my Django admin for it. And all right, so let me copy my deposit account. And all right, so here's my account, and let me just add like a 2001 coins to the account manually right now because I want to show you something. So after you deposit coins to this account, go ahead and click this refresh button right here. And this is just gonna tell the exchange to fetch the updated balance, which you can see just updated to 2001. And then once you have coins in your deposit account, you can just click this button right here to transfer them to your main account. So this is my deposit account balance. This is my main account balance, and I'm about to click this button. Just keep an eye on this, and boom, there you go. Now, another thing to remember is that your core is going to charge a 1 coin transaction fee. So that's why I always add one more coin than the total amount that I want to have moved over to my main exchange balance. And also, if you click on this row right here, you can see the details of the transaction, the block ID, sender recipient, so on and so forth. So there you go. And of course, if you click on this tab right here, you can withdraw to any account. Now, for withdrawals, let me just go ahead and I'll withdraw to this account. I just want to show you something. So whenever you are withdrawing, it kind of acts the inverse logic of that. So if I want to withdraw 1,000, then whenever I do withdraw that, it's going to charge that 1 coin transaction fee. and the account that you're withdrawing to, that receiving account, is going to end up with one less than that. So you withdrew 1,000, it automatically deducted one coin, and you end up with 999 in your account. So just want to point out those details. However, once you have coins in your main exchange account, you can begin trading. So to trade, head over to the trade page, and the first thing you need to do is select an asset pair. And this of course just means what coins do you want to trade for each other. So of course VTX TNB means you want to trade VTX for TNB, nothing too fancy there. And using this form, you can create orders. Now, by creating an order, you are indicating your intention to trade. And there are, of course, two order types: buy orders. And a buy order is pretty much stating that you want to acquire the first currency you see here, which I'm calling the primary currency. And a sell order means that you want to sell or get rid of this primary currency. So for example, in this buy order, you can say, I want to buy 5 VTX at a price of 9 TNB. And of course, for this, you would be paying a total of 45 TNB. Or, quick example, you want to sell 5 VTX at a price of 11 TNB. And in this case, when the order gets filled, you will receive 55 TNB. So when I say fill, let's actually go ahead and talk about these fill statuses right now. So actually, let me go ahead and place one of these orders, and I'll show you the default status of it. So whenever you place one of these orders, it's going to say buy order created, and this is going to create what's called an open order. So an open order is the default status whenever you first create any order. It basically means that the order has been placed and is open on the market. In other words, it's just waiting to be matched with a suitable counter order. Now, this filled status right here, what this means is that the entire order, for example, this buy order, it has been matched with a counter order, and that this entire order is now complete. So that's kind of the goal of these orders, to get them filled. Now, the second to last status is partially filled. And what this means is part of your order has been matched and filled, but not the entire order. So this typically happens if your order is quite large and it's going to require multiple counter orders in order to complete it. And this is, in this example, the user placed a large buy order and a smaller sell order came in. So it could fill part of it, but there's still 40 more VTX left until this buy order is filled. And it's the same thing if you have this buy order, this sell order is going to be filled. But then if you have another sell order that comes in that's more than that 40, then this one is going to be considered partially filled, even though this entire buy order is now filled. So a little bit tricky if you're not familiar with trading to get used to it. But once we get into the code and start seeing things, it's going to become very intuitive. And the last fill status I want to talk about that I don't have anything diagrammed for is just the canceled status. And this is something that you can do to your orders. Let's hop over to this orders page right now. So any of your orders that are currently open or partially filled, you can just go ahead and cancel them. And whenever they're canceled, it just means that it's going to be removed from what's called the order book, and it's not going to be filled. Basically, however you think of canceled in your head, that's what this cancel status is going to mean. Now, another thing I want to point out is that whenever you create an order, the funds are going to be deducted from your main account. And this is to prevent people from placing orders and then withdrawing those coins needed to fill those orders immediately off the exchange, or else, the system's going to run into a whole bunch of problems. So to prevent that, just remember that at the time when you place it, those are when the funds are deducted and not when the order is filled. Now, on that note, I do want to talk about the last main topic that we need before we kind of hop into the code, and that is refunds and overpayments. So check this out. Say that you place a buy order, and what was this example? 100 VTX for 12 TNB. So I want to buy 100 VTX at a price of 12 TNB. Now you can see whenever I hit buy, I'm not going to, but well, I can. Let's just do it. Whenever I hit buy, that's going to cost me 1200 TNB. So we can see in this example that 1200 TNB is what I paid. Now let's say that there was a sell order for 100 VTX at 10 TNB. So basically I'm indicating that I'm willing to pay 12 TNB for this, but the seller says, hey, yeah, this is only 10 TNB this cost, so I'm actually going to be overpaying by 2 TNB per VTX. So in this case, 1200 TNB was the amount that I paid. However, the actual cost of that was only 1000 TNB. So in this case, since I already paid, at the end of this transaction, I'm going to have 200 TNB refunded to my account. So again, as a quick recap, whenever a buy order is matched with a sell order at a different price, the order is always executed at the lower price, and whatever additional amount needs to be refunded gets refunded back to the buyer. And that is pretty much it. I mean, yeah, there are some more details here and there, but this is pretty much how the exchange is going to work. Again, like I said, the UI isn't that complicated, but it's going to allow us to test a bunch of cool new programming concepts. And I thought this would be a very cool project because like both sides of this need to be updated in real time. We're going to be working with WebSockets and just a lot of cool technology. Now, another thing that I want to point out is I'm going to log out and I'm going to go to this create an account page. Whenever you go to create an account, you can see that there is an invitation code required right now. Now, we are going to be changing this in the future as well. But for right now, I just want to, prevent spammers from creating thousands of accounts. But in the future, we can implement either an email verification system or a CAPTCHA or possibly some kind of improved invite system. We'll discuss that a little bit later on. But for right now, I just want to point out that if you do want to kind of test around, follow the series, and you want an invite code, just go ahead and message me on Discord, say you want an invite code, and I'll send you over one. And on that note, let's see what else we got to cover. The source code, of course, if you want to check it out, this is going to be available at github.com/thenewboston-developers. The backend code is going to be in the New Boston backend. This is going to be all the Django code. And the front end for this, all the React and Redux, is going to be in the New Boston front end. And if anyone comes across any bugs, then just go ahead and feel free to report them in the GitHub issues. So go ahead to the repo, just click on issues and submit a new issue. And aside from that, if you really have any trouble with anything else, or even if you have any just general feedback or suggestions, let me know. I'd love to hear. Reach out to me on Discord, send me a message. And on that note, in the upcoming videos, we are going to be, like I said, testing all of this logic manually. All of these fill statuses. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through testing everything, and then once we're done with our manual QA, we'll begin writing automated tests. And then once both manual QA and automated testing is complete, we'll go ahead and start on optimizations, stress testing, and a bunch of fun stuff, trying to break the app any way that we can. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.